Why do people with an empathetic character attract and get hurt the most by people with narcissistic characteristics? Both were hurting during childhood. The empathetic child took that pain and understood the effects of it and never wanted anyone to feel the way that they felt, so they grew up more compassionate. While the narcissistic child internalized anger for experiencing the painful circumstances and vowed to put themselves first, no matter what and no matter who. Instead of growing compassion, they grew more selfish, with an aim to protect themselves at all costs. The biggest problem here is without compassion for anyone, without real love, the narcissistic person can't clearly judge anyone's character, and they justify treating the ones closest to them poorly because that's their defense mechanism, their safety mechanism. They are not willing to be vulnerable enough to really love and trust, because then they will be in jeopardy of being hurt again, which they vowed to themselves to never let happen. So the reason the empathetic person attracts the narcissistic characteristic person is because they see someone lacking love, and they know they have the love and compassion that person needs, and they believe they can conquer all through love. They believe that if they show this narcissist what they've never experienced, that they'll change and give them that love in return. But the narcissistic person only wants their love because it gives them more power to control them. They can't return it, even if they wanted to, because it requires them to heal first. You can't love someone else while you're broken. You can only need them to validate you, to fill a void. The narcissist would have to acknowledge their insecurities and pain and be willing to be vulnerable enough to trust that person and open their life to that person. This is a very unrealistic thing to expect. Could it happen? I'm sure. But could you depend on it? Like you can depend on the narcissist keeping his word when you need them the most. But an unhealed, empathetic person will be lacking healthy boundaries and needing love. Narcissists need to be adored and controlled. This turns out to be the perfect storm. The empathetic person is compromising, patient, forgiving, willing to change, will go the distance to prove themselves worthy of love, and certainly cater to the person they see a future with. They become lost in the beginning when the narcissist love bombs them. Then they spend the rest of the relationship desperately trying to keep or get that feeling back. They are fed glimpses of it from time to time when the narcissist feels it's necessary. So you can imagine when the empathetic person is finally discarded, how devastated they feel. They tried. They really believed it would eventually pay off, but both have experienced this because self-reflection was needed. Both need to see what they are allowing and doing in their lives. They both need to discover their true value without the validation of another. Validation are for parking tickets. I heard that somewhere. Sadly, instead of going through the solitude, many rush to replace that feeling with another relationship, which also rarely works out. The only way to break this cycle is to look within and really put in the work to heal. Heal means really get to know what loving yourself looks like. Because once you discover your value, you set different standards, resulting in attracting differently. When you really love yourself, you can't help but to set boundaries. And when you do, you'll be surprised at how many people you never thought would respect them do. Until next time, this has just been my take on things. Be a blessing so that you will be blessed.